is a much better version of the first game. It's a PlayStation 1 game that came out in January 1997. So it's older than me. And this is all races. So this is the closest thing you get to an any percent in this. Well, actually, it's not. It's like the 100%, right? There is an any percent, which involves skipping races. It's like 100%. There's no collectibles or anything. So, yeah, just complete all the races. Just championship, whatever, smack a random name in. See, some people like to race this with amateur, but nah, pro. Look at the difference. Come on. You lose grip, but that just makes it more entertaining. I also have to manually split this game, as you guys know, so you might hear me smashing my keyboard occasionally. Right, that's it. 3, 2, 1. Enjoy. Oh.
3, 2, 1, go!
Oh, wait, hold on. The game's too loud for you guys, isn't it? Game's way too loud for you guys. You need to actually be able to hear what I'm saying. Alright, we'll just start that again then, quickly. Hey, Oscar, how you doing? No, it doesn't count as a reset, because it's not. Yeah. Is the game still too loud for you, by the way? Let me know if it is, because I can amend it. Just give me a quick shout. Sound check. All good? Alright, cool. So, this is Destruction Derby 2, as I say. It just involves... The run is essentially complete all races as fast as possible. You don't have to win every race. I've said this before, and people have memed me for it. And said, what, you don't have to win every race? No, you don't have to win every race, but you have to win every league. And you need the game to show winner at the end and not loser. Because if you get loser, it's a dead run. Yeah. The early races are fine because you start at the front of the pack. And the courses are not difficult to navigate in this game once you've learned the corners and how to get around them as fast as possible. They're not the problem. The problem is every racer. You probably won't see too much of it on these early laps. Well, fingers crossed. Until you start lapping them. But later on, it doesn't matter where you finish on the grid, you're going to end up starting towards the back of the pack. So you have to work your way through the field, so to say, which is the difficult part. There is one particularly awful AI, and it is actually programmed to be sort of worse than the rest, or at least I believe it is, because it is just awful. And he is learner driver. He's the only other yellow car that you're going to see out here other than me. And he's pretty awful, yeah. I guess so. That'd be fun, wouldn't it? I'd love to commentate this game. You get to sort of self-commentate though, right? Apart from when I'll get to later on and I'll be like trying desperately to avoid learner driver. So this time, this my PB I'm running against, the 4940 is, if I recall, there he is. One I just smashed into, that's learner driver. He's going to be a pain for most of this run. So I'm 21 seconds off of world record. And as you can see from my sum of bests, although there is, I think, one error in there, maybe two, it's definitely achievable. I think my actual sum of bests, accounting for the errors, is about 47.5. So there's loads of time save in here. It's just having the traffic that will allow me to do so. So there he is, yep. The more learner driver can keep his way out, like preferably flipping himself over, destroying his own car, the better for me. Are you learner driver, Oscar? No, you're not learner driver. Unless you want to be. Each driver has an actual name. We went through it on stream, if you recall, a few weeks ago from the guidebook that comes with the game. and they've all got like a little story and a little backstory to them, which is kind of fun. So yeah, after you've crossed the finish line, you can just hit retire out. The game remembers what you finished as, and then on to the next. This is Chalk Canyon. Chalk Canyon is my least favorite track in this game. Because of the final jump, to be honest. So there's a jump here you're going to see, which tends to be okay. Physics don't mess with you that much on that one. But once you get to this next one, there's about 2 good angles for landing, and the rest will flip you or spin you. Okay, that one was a good angle. And here as well, all the AI loves to spin out because they're programmed, I guess, just to not respond to that corner correctly. So they're always going to spin around you and try to knock you out. It's just a part of the game. Oh, hello. And the rest of it is, as I say, just understanding where best to brake, where best to take your thumb off the accelerator, so that you're keeping as much momentum as possible. I tend to use my speedometer in the top left-hand corner to gauge if I'm in the right place, in the right speed for certain things. Lap time as well helps. Okay, that's a good angle as well. So we're 2 for 2 here, which is good. Also, never ever go in the pit lane because you waste nearly a minute if you end up in there with the amount of screens you have to flick through. And do you want to fix this? And shall we scrub that? It's not a good pit lane system. Oh, I owe you a story, don't I, about me and a bus? Sure, we can give the story. We can give the story. It's clean. So, back when I was at school, Oscar, I used to get the bus home, like most kids, right? But one particular day, I really wanted to get home, and if I recall, I think it was because I think Diablo 3 was coming out, and I wanted to get home for the midnight launch. Although I would have been home before midnight anyway, but you know, young Jono was wild and free. So I ran out of school, ran for the bus, and the girl I liked, who turned out to be Loki Lady, by the way, was walking down there with her friend, and happened to say hi, I think, as I ran past, or something to that effect. But it had been raining, I think, and there was a bit of like wet mud. So I was running for this bus. It had pulled up, and I was way down the road, running. And the way that my school was, you could see you could see from the school the bus stop. So everyone leaving the school could see exactly what I was about to do. I'm running, trying to look cool, you know, past Loki Lady. Hey, what's up? Little wink and a nod. I slip on the mud right outside the bus where it pulled up. I go down, mud splatter everywhere. There's a streak of thick brown mud right up my backside. And I haven't just slipped, I've slipped and I've hit my head on a metal lamppost. So I'm also like basically delirious at this point. I think I gave myself a mild concussion, if I recall someone. I think I went back up to the school after because I was like in pain and crying and stuff. I didn't look cool at that moment. And I think someone said I've got like a mild concussion because there was a lump build on my head as well. But Loki Lady had to help me back to the school. So it went from like a moment where little Jono thought, oh, I'm going to look cool here, to she's going to help me back to the school when I'm literally whimpering. And my face is like streaking in red, and I've got this brown muddy streak on my leg. It wasn't flattering. But now every time I talk to people from school, their one like presiding story over me is, hey, do you remember the bus stop? And it's just like, it's the worst thing ever, because it happened like right towards the end of my school career as well. I think it happened like 3 or 4 weeks before the end of like final year 11 term. So if it could have just not happened, that wouldn't have been people's lasting memory of me. And yet, here we are. It probably helped a lot because Ellie saw I was vulnerable. Well, yeah, I guess there's that argument to be made. I guess there is that. But, yeah, so that wasn't my finest hour. Dragged back up to school, crying, red in the face, lump building on the forehead. Yeah. Anyway, back to the game for a moment. So this is Caprio County Raceway. And it looks to be an easy one, right? Like a quick little loop with a few twists and turns here and there. But the problem with the short ones, and the ones that... they're the worst because all the cars end up getting bunched up, right? So you end up having to try and navigate past all the other racers. And, I didn't mention this already, when the AI destroys itself or flips itself, it doesn't reset and it doesn't despawn. So, particularly in the later levels, you're going to see one called Liberty City. Nothing to do with the GTA game, by the way. And it's one of the worst tracks for cars which just act as like a solid blocker, you know? You just can't do anything with it. And it'll crawling around it. RuneScape Champions Guild run when? Well, I've just got off to Island, so we'll get there. We'll get there. So this is a proper... this is actually one of the more challenging tracks. And again, I don't know if it will look it, but there's a couple of corners you really have to monitor the speed you're going around. Here's a bit tricky. So you don't want to be going around it full pelt because you're going to bounce off a wall. And making contact with walls in this game, as a general rule, is one of the worst things you can do because they don't really act like walls. They act like bouncy castles, right? You just bounce straight off. So you definitely don't want to be making contact. There's one of the slightly trickier places. So handbrakes work. Well, they sort of work in this game. And if you throttle it round one of those tighter corners and then power back onto the accelerator quickly, you can sort of do this game's equivalent of a drift. It doesn't look like it, but that's a drift. There's no real drifting mechanics in the game, but it allows you to maintain as much speed as possible going through the corners. So something like that just helps you keep the momentum, keep the speed. And I like speed, chat. Oh, yeah, don't do that. When I showed you at the start that the car has like one grip, it has one grip. I don't know that it has, but I don't know that it would either, Matt, because it's an online game, isn't it? I don't think they'd allow those sorts of things because you open yourself up to like profanity in that, right? Oh my god, again here. Another thing to mention is the tracks aren't really as flat as they make out. So, you know, there's a lot of areas in this game where you're fighting with the level of the track as well. Like here, sometimes you'll stick to that, like glue, and sometimes you'll fly off it, and you want to be sticking to it where possible. But there are loads of areas in this game where the track obviously is just not quite formed correctly, and you can go just skidding and flying off. So you see, look, all the AI seems to be crashing and falling around the final laps, which is a big problem. No, we cannot, Matt. Not right now. Your food's ready to collect. I am jealous, Wes. Enjoy. Enjoy. Let us know. Give us a review. Give us a hot take afterwards. Okay, yeah, so this is the second time. Obviously, there's only There's only 7 tracks in the game, okay? So you end up repeating most of them 3 times, some of them twice, and the final one you just do the once. And you're going to progressively... They get more difficult. So the AI gets... adept is a funny word. So it's competent. They just get a bit quicker. But making the AI quicker is not really good in the context of this game, because it doesn't improve their driving skills at all. It just worsens them. So it'll keep shoving you further and further back in the pack. And then you have to get round them. So you saw at the start there how to sort of find a line to navigate as much of it as possible. And there's a few lines and strats and directions you can take depending on where you end up on the grid. But generally, you want them behind you as early as possible. Otherwise, you're in a world of pain. And here we go. So they are... They will shove their way past. Here we go. So this is the jump I was mentioning the first time around. If you don't hit it right, the game just assumes that you're gonna spin. You know, it just puts the spin mechanics on, and you have to just accept it and try to combat it if possible. But yeah, and for the early races, so obviously the leagues get progressively harder as well, and you need to be scoring higher up the leaderboards to actually progress to the next division. We are now in Division 3. This is the first race of Division 3. Each time you enter a new division, it adds a new track onto the end. So the Division 3 track we're going to see in a few races' time is one called Black Sail Valley. Black Sail Valley is my favourite track, but not because it's a good speed track. It's just Carnage Central. You will see why in a few short minutes. Ooh, car tried to take me down the pit lane there. Don't do that. So I want to be finishing somewhere in the top 5 for each of these races to guarantee me progressing into the next league. And League 1, as I say, winning League 1 is always a bit touch and go, because the AI, there's no set sort of pattern or calculation that's going to guarantee a certain racer will... Right, there's Learner Driver. Thanks a bunch. Out my way. But guarantees that a certain race is going to do well. You know? There is that huge RNG aspect as well. There are some races that are programmed to be worse, like Learner Driver, but there are several ones which are very adept. Winning League 1 like Coventry did. I did hear about this. Football team is in the promotions? Is that what that means? Are we getting promoted, or have we been promoted? Oscar him for a stream of his own. Good, good. Enjoy. Sounds good, Oscar. Thank you for tuning in. See you in a bit. I'm going to spin here. Ooh, maybe not. Do not do that to me, car. Thank you. So that wasn't particularly good. We could have saved a lot more time there. Back on to Caprio. The worst version of Caprio, because we're now 10th in the pack. So if you run obviously the inside green there, generally you're going to be okay. Generally. The AI will fight amongst themselves for a few laps, and hopefully you can have a few clean laps and then try to deal with the carnage later on. And if I can get back on the track, that'd be great. Okay. We've already got one spun out. That's not necessarily a good sign, because that one can cause havoc and bring other ones down with it. You don't want to see that. They do get promoted. Okay, okay. So what division are they in now? 1? Or were they in Division 1? Are Reading good? Oh, a championship. Wow. They are also in a Champions Guild. See what I did there? Yeah, I'm just going to brake here, because if I try to... It's easier to just take a few, like, milliseconds time loss versus trying to wrestle with them, maintain your pace, and then spin off inevitably anyway. So you have to make a few tactical choices when playing this game as to when you're going to... Like, you have to pick your battles, right? You just have to pick your battles. I saw the carnage happening there, and I just knew that it'd be less impactful on my time if I just took the longer route and the singular impact versus trying to fight my way through, you know, 100 stacked cars. AI gets stuck here very often as well. If it spins in certain spots, it gets really confused. So that blue car there, we've now lapped it like 6 times. It's just been stuck. It's not managed to get out of there. And that can be an issue as well. So here's Learner Driver doing Learner Driver things. And see, why was he reversing there? Not sure, but now he's sort of destroyed his car. The white smoke is damage, heavy damage, and the black smoke is your car's kaput. So try not to make your car go kaput if you want to run this game. Okay. Last corner. Nice. We're on an okay pace here, to be honest. We're only plus 0.2. And there's a lot of time saving the later tracks, so I wonder if we could PB this. It'd be cool if we could PB for a submission, wouldn't it? Okay, that's very good. Keep driving straight. Nice. Ooh! Okay, that was fine. So to come out of that unscathed is very good. It's very, very easy to get caught within the pack there and just end up in carnage mode. But we've broken away. I see your reasoning there, Matt, and I suppose there is something to that. I'm not proud of saying that, but, yeah. So as I say, just running it in again. Trying our best to keep on the track and maintain the highest speed possible, particularly through this long chicane. Just going to use first as a bit of a brake there. So, just to give a bit more context to this game as well in terms of speedrunning, there are 3 main categories. And those are what I'm doing now, which is stock car all races, which is the most popular on the board. There's any percent, which is still championship mode, but you have to... you skip the first 2 races per league. And you just have to race very well in the last 2, because then you have to win them, right? To maximise your points. So it's a bit trickier. And I think the world record for any percent at the moment is about 17.5 minutes. That was close. And then there's also like ultimate destruction mode. So this game, being called Destruction Derby, has a destruction mode. And you do the races, and it will still show you your position versus the other racers. But you're not really marked against that. You're marked on your destruction score, which you get for flipping and crashing and spinning and exploding cars. So the strat for that is never to actually race. It's to just reverse from the starting grid and get yourself into a position sort of perpendicular to the track and just hope things smash you. Is the strat there. I've tried that mode. It's the most RNG thing I've ever done. Fun, but RNG. So I don't tend to do that one. Here we go. Black Sail. So Black Sail has an intersection. The track splits. Here's one of my broke PB's best splits, by the way. Ooh. Okay, surprisingly that was okay. It's really difficult to get out of that cleanly. So the track splits, okay, and it does like a figure of 8, and it crosses there where I just drove through. You typically want to take the track on the right going in and track on the left coming out. That's the plan, Matt. Can you imagine? Yeah. Okay, if you want to clear out the way, that'd be grand. Thank you. So the figure 8 here in this intersection has killed many a run, and has had me break this controller more than twice. Or want to break it more than twice, I should say. It is still my favourite track because of the potential for carnage, but it's my least favourite speed track because the game has many creative ways of just denying you runs based upon this track. See, and if I hit that in the wrong place as well, my momentum will force me into the wrong track. But I'll just rejoin it here because it's got the best angle coming out. So again, we're looking for a top 5 finish, and that should guarantee us moving into Division 2 after this. And that'll put us halfway into the run. So I think the average time I'd put on this, on my submission, is about... I'd love to say 50 minutes, but you can get some real wipeouts, and you can destroy the car as well and have to restart races, so probably 55 minutes is a reasonable estimate. There you go. Learner driver doing, I don't know how many rotations there. Interstellar much. Okay, I lost a bit of time here. Still on a pretty good pace here though, honestly. Pretty good pace. I still got hay fever chat. Sorry, that's why I keep like nosing all the time. This Pine Hills Raceway is my least favourite in the whole game. Because it's exceptionally difficult to not get spun out and lose time. I'm going to try really hard here. 1 second. Fingers crossed. Okay, it was slow. But we didn't spin. Nice. That first lap is an absolute nightmare, honestly. So just surviving out without any major incidents is a big plus here. But every corner presents a major incident. Okay. So quick break going into turn, bank below. We want to be hitting it about. We want to be hitting that jump at about 260 is the optimum speed. 254 I'll take. And then banking into this. As soon as the car starts banking, you do the turn. No telly. No. You enter that turn high and you leave it low. And that's why. That's how you get around the pack generally. Enter high, leave low. No! Okay. You know, I was just saying about not going in the pit lane. We avoid it at all costs. Back down to 17th. Not great. Not great. I have finished runs, though, where I've only got, like, finished 15th here. So it is possible. We just have to do a clean sweep on the next 3. Which is much easier than doing a clean sweep here. But there's just no room for overtake. It's difficult. Okay, Telly. There you go. If someone watching my submission, they will know you were here. But the game's fun, you know. The game is fun. It's also worth noting as well that I am currently doing this on an emulator, and I understand that GD2 doesn't support emulation, but I've got it on the PS 2. And the capture card's all set up. Just the preferable way when you're running this game is on emulator. But there'd be no functional difference running it on the PlayStation 1 or 2 from my end. And the game has a pretty good soundtrack as well. I've turned it off for this, so you can actually hear me speaking. But it's got a pretty good soundtrack. And the commentator as well is top-notch. No, Matt, I cannot. Nice try, though. Right, one further lap here. If I finish this at 9th, I'll be happy. We can take 9th. You might have just seen there, my car sort of merged with the blue car. Solids are not very solid sometimes in this game. Polygons like to blend the streams. Sometimes it's an issue. Sometimes it's fortunate, but sometimes it's an issue. Right, so this is the final time we're doing SEA Motorplex. We're going to be starting mid-grid. Once again, trying to nail this first corner. Fingers crossed. Thread the needle. Keep threading, keep threading. Don't spin me, keep threading. Avoid the carnage. Oh, okay, that worked. Very good. If learner driver could not... Yeah, he tried to. He tried to. Okay, that's good, that's good. Learner driver tried to have his final word at the corner there, but he did not succeed. Thank goodness. Second place. Don't do anything tricky. Ooh. Okay, I'm really resting with this red car here. 67. I need you to get out of the way. Ah, oh, they caught me on the second lap. Sometimes the game doesn't need explanation. It just needs... It really keeps you on the edge of your toes. And it's one of those speed games where you are like absolutely at the mercy of the game, you know. The game will dictate how the traffic's gonna run in that particular race. The game will decide how your physics is going to interact on every bump and jump and corner. And the game knows that you're running in the pro car, and that your grip is a stat of 1. It knows. So a grip stat of 1, not good. Not good. But we need that speed, chat. We need that speed, because we are speed running. Okay. That's a good lap. Sub 40 laps here are very quick. I'm not speaking with a Brummy accent. I don't think it increased my chance of getting accepted anyway. I don't remember GDQ having an anti-Brummy policy. Must have missed that announcement. Yeah, it's not a good accent, in my opinion. But I don't think you can ban someone based on it, right? Hello. Love you. Tweety One making a quick appearance there. Oh, let's split. No. And who would have that power anyway? It's not the power the Prime Minister has. He might pretend that he has. Okay, just keep driving. No major incidents. Very good. Maybe here though. Or here? Ooh. Oh, right at the end. You've got to be kidding me. That was nearly one of the cleanest lap 1s on Black Sail I've ever had. Just for a little instant at the end. Okay. We take it, though. We take it. A sub 40 on lap 1 of Black Sail is is nothing short of a miracle. So let's talk about the mechanics of the game a bit further whilst we're going around here. So there's 2 camera angles. There's this, and there's this. That's it. You cannot look behind your car. There is no, as you can see, there's no like mirror on screen. I know a lot of race games do that. There's no mirror. You can't look behind you. Sometimes you hear the carnage behind you, but you can't see it unless you're prepared to actually turn the car around or just wait till the next lap to determine your fate. I also run this on a PlayStation 1 controller with the actual D-pad. It's not with joysticks. The game was released pre-joysticks, so it's all D-pad racing. So I tend to have really sore thumbs after this. Yeah, and the commentator as well is a really interesting part of this game. So I was doing a bit of research on it. It's an actual, I forget his name now. I think it's Danny something, but he's an actual stock car commentator from the US. So you hear some of his key lines. He's way out in front. It's the last lap. Total destruction. Some of my favourite ones, hopefully you won't hear them in the run or I'm will have killed the run, but are his radiator's blown and ha ha ha, he's on fire. So he's got some right clangers. I don't want to hear any of them right now, but they're in his repository. Save a bit of time there. Never do that impression again. Why? Don't tell me it's because I got a Brummy accent. Right, Liberty City, but not the one you're familiar with. So we're on Liberty City. This is a challenge. For one, it's set at night, so you're already, like, let's be honest, the render distance on this game is pretty bad, but it makes it worse for the effect of it being night. Also, all the chicanes are super tight, and these cars are not designed to do tight chicanes. Also, a lot of cars like to get destroyed and proof challenges on this course, map, level, track, there's the word I'm looking for. There's also this sort of gravel section. Oh, I flipped the car, that's okay. I'll reflip in a second. It takes a moment. There we go. Ideally, you don't want to be flipping the car, but sometimes you just don't have much of a choice. So this is probably actually the trickiest one to get right. As I say, my least favourite is Chalk Canyon. My favourite is Black Sail. And this is the trickiest. And we're going to do this one more time as well. This is like the easier version of Black Sail. So wait for the trickier one in Division 1. It's not fun. Often part of the strat for getting first here, though, is just letting all the racers destroy themselves. It's a pretty solid strat. Yeah, I mentioned that, but yeah, I'll go through that again. So, as Matt said in chat, you don't have to win every race. If you did, it'd be difficult. And the game, actually, the reviews at the time, again, from the research I did about 2 weeks ago, if you check on Wikipedia, very reliable news source, but the reviews that came in from the game at the time noted how difficult it was. Particularly on the PC version. If the game does have a PC version as well, it's very, very bad. So we don't play it. But, yeah, particularly the PC version. So, as Matt was saying, you don't have to win every race, but you need enough points in each division to be the top of that division's leaderboards after the 4 races to advance to the next division. So you'll note on my splits that they start with a D and then a number. That represents the division. So we're in Division 2 at the moment. We're about to enter Division 1, hopefully. Oh, I need to split. That'd be good. Yep, promoted. You saw it at the top of the screen. So that means we are into Division 1, the final division of the game, which is Chalk Canyon, Liberty City, Black Sail Valley, and SCA Ultimate Destruction Motorway mess. But first, let's try and survive Chalk Canyon from literally the back of the pack. The worst version of Chalk Canyon. It's a mess, and we really don't want anyone to impact us here. Okay, good, because then we lose momentum for the jump, and if you get stuck on that gravel, it's a nightmare to get out. You lose so much time trying to claw your way out of the gravel. So that's good that we didn't get into any messy business there. So, ideally here, even to win Division 1 and to complete the run, we're not looking for wins in every race, but we are looking for solid finishes and enough points to see us through. If the game does not show winner at the end, if it shows loser, the run is dead. We've killed it. So I suppose that's a bit of an additional incentive to have this at GDQ, to watch the runner get loser appear on his screen. I wouldn't want to see that, but I'm sure it would be a bit of a laugh, a bit of a meme. Yep. Yeah. There's no do-overs. There's no second chances in this. If you're not promoted, that's it. Dead run. You have to do it again. Do the whole division again. Actually, I think if you don't get promoted from a division, I think technically it puts you down a division. I wouldn't like to speculate, Matt. I would not like to speculate. So do we spin here? We don't spin here, but ooh, okay, so you can see I actually went through the car. And that's what I was talking about. Sometimes, particularly when there's going to be a high-speed collision on this game, the game forgets about collision. And will just phase you through. Which is a big plus a lot of the time. So as you might be picking up, there's so many littered cars around the track now. The learner driver is stuck in the gravel. Gravel? Words. So let's hope that learner driver is kept in the gravel, because we don't really want to be contending with him if possible. Trying to keep it clean here, as I say, because we're only plus 8 seconds. And if we're looking at the time here, if this last lap's clean, we should still be about plus 10. So there's possibility for a PB here as well, which would be nice, because there's a lot of time saving in these last 4 races. Hello, Wes. Are you back with it? Good. How's the runs? Going okay. As I say, I've been doing this as my GDQ application run. So I've been doing a lot of commentary over the game and the mechanics and the characters and the strats and things. So, but it's been good. Oh, that's a spin. But we can control it if we take our thumb off the accelerator. And look at this graveyard of just destroyed cars. The worst part to navigate. Okay. Nice. Plus 6.5. Now the second time we see Liberty City, we are starting from the back. We're starting from the back every single time now because it's Division 1. We don't get a choice in the matter. We just have to try and drive well and hope the AI doesn't flip us out. But it did anyway. Okay. Not the worst thing in the world, and honestly, your chances of getting spun there are much higher than your chances of not getting spun. If you wanted to reset this game every time you were spun or hit or, you know, bounce off a wall, you'd never finish Division 4 even. Like you just sort of have to roll with the punches. And hope the ooh, see, threading the needle there. Hope the punches aren't too catastrophic. And that's basically how you have to maintain a level-head play in this. Chicane it. Okay, he did not succeed, which is good for me. Brake here, because we've got way too much power. Hopefully some of these cars have cleared out. Not him, though. He's destroyed. One's on his roof. If you hit the dirt jump okay, you can get into a handbrake turn. That was not a good one, but you can get into a good handbrake turn. Difficult, though, because if you don't hit it correctly, you'll flip your car. So it's often better to just take the easier route. PS5 conference. Yeah, let me know what comes out of that. It'd be interesting to see what sort of innovation they've got. PS5, but I'm here playing the PS1 games like a true veteran. Hello, Pyro. How are you? Oi, oi. I went a bit like, all right, Governor, man. All right, Pyro. Ooh. Ah, this is not good. Ah, wasting loads of time. The position that purple car got destroyed in was just the worst. It just trapped us against the wall. Ah! See, even first is destroyed there. We are basically... I wouldn't be surprised if we're one of the last 3 racers actually still racing at this point. This is what Black Sail Valley number 2 is like. Sorry, Liberty City number 2 is like. It's a mess. It's a real mess. Okay, we're losing loads of time here. That's a shame. So PB's probably off after that incident. We actually might be the only car still racing here. And my radiator's blown, so I'm just going to be careful for a moment. One more big impact on my front right side, and I am a dead car. Yep, there's second. We are the one of the last actual runners, right? It wasn't impressive, but we're alive, so. You just woke up, you're feeling dead, oh dear. Is that going to be like another Kingdom Hearts for the new console? Thread the needle. Keep straight. Keep it on the track. Ooh. Okay. Also, if I were to run this game at GDQ, you will inevitably have to put up with noises like... It's sort of part and parcel of the Destruction Derby experience. But it's a good meme, right? You went to bed at 8 AM today. Why so early? Late? What's the correct phrasing? I guess it's late because you would have been, like, up. But why so late? Okay. Ooh. We just leave them to it for now. You just race because we should be able to take you on the corner up here. Ooh. 2 cars on their roof here. That's no good. They're going to present a... Oh, that's what I mean about that interchange. Ah. Not good. Not good. Watch Dogs Legion. I have never played a Watch Dogs game, by the way. Are they good? Come on, get to turning. Get to turning. Oh, he's forced me into the wrong. Okay, right. Here's a little quirk about this game as well. The cars will go just as fast in reverse as they will forwards. The turning mechanic becomes a bit interesting, but we can actually salvage it in reverse. Sort of. Not really. Okay. But you can finish races in reverse quite easily. The speed's definitely there. Here we go. Graveyard of cars again. Division 1 is less racing and more avoidance, honestly. We lost a bit more time there. You're destroyed second as well. There's first place. So we will claim first. So I'm fairly confident that we will actually get winner here and not loser. Which means we'll actually finish the run. Plus 40 here. Yeah, sorry guys. We're not PB in this one. But it's the final race. SCA Ultimate Destruction Speedway. There are 2 routes here. Never take the left route. So around this corner, you'll see there's an entrance to the left and an entrance to the right. If you went left there, you're in a real rough spot. The track gets as tight as a single car, and you have to maneuver it almost perfectly to get through. It's no one in their right mind goes down the left path. We go down the right path, but this is the final race of the game, and it's the only time you see Ultimate Destruction Speedway in this run. So it's a difficult one to practice, to be honest. Difficult one to practice, but you have to be very gentle on the brakes around here. It's not very user-friendly, this track. And round here also. Drifted it round, okay. We don't want to put too much speed on over here. Too much speed and you can spin it. You also want to bank it high. If you get caught on the wall there, on the low section, you're basically stuck. The game is not forgiven. It will just leave you there. Oh, we sent him flying down the left path. Oh, that's brilliant. Absolutely delicious. They wouldn't be a Tweedy John run if I didn't say delicious at least once. Okay, that's a good corner as well. Nice, no incidents there. Yep, add it to the fund. 2 more laps. Okay. Correct path. Quick on the brakes. Quick on the brakes. Ooh. Oh, Lerner, why are you on your roof? Why there? Why? Not too fast. Which I understand is an odd thing to say in a speed run, but trust me, not too fast. Okay, finishing 7th here, I think should get us the winner. But if I can capture any more places, I would feel more comfortable. 5th, okay, 6th. No, we're back to 7th. We just accept 7th. Cool, that's fine. Quick here, retire. Time is not pressed until we see the winner. Winner, 50 minutes, 20 seconds, 0.94. So we actually finished a run, which is good. No, not in this one, Wes. But that's it. That's the game in a nutshell, right? We can see how close it was. It wasn't close at all in the end, actually. This is always a fallacy I think I set for myself. I always think that Division 1 is a lot closer, but as you can see there, I'm basically 200 points clear of the next one. And there's some of the racer names you see in this game. So the Chief, the Psycho, the Master. No Doctor Who reference, unfortunately. And the Bouncer. So, yeah.